gold leaf is the perfect way to make any meal look expensive while effectively blocking every bit of flavor that's on it. This is one I bought off of Amazon, and I'm being extra careful with it here because it's very thin. Not only is it thinner than the paper it's contained in, it's thinner than the cellulose fibers that make up the paper it's contained in. Gold leaf can be as thin as 0.1 microns, much thinner than paper fibers which range from 10 to 50 microns thick. Except this particular gold leaf isn't actually gold, and I lied, just like the seller I bought it from. Because this is a real gold leaf, and as you can see, it has no reaction to the concentrated nitric acid. Looking back at the fake gold though, you'll notice an immediate reaction which turns the solution blue. This blue color strongly suggests the presence of copper nitrate. Copper nitrate forms along with some water and nitrogen dioxide gas whenever you react copper with nitric acid, not gold. Now, this fake gold leaf may not look like copper, and that's probably because it's an alloy of both copper and zinc, also known as brass. And when mixed in the right proportions, brass can imitate the color of gold quite well. Just like I did with the fake gold leaf, I wanted to react this brass with some nitric acid, so I cut off a small piece to... So I bent off a small piece to fit in a test tube. Except I didn't, and I lied again. I resorted to reacting the whole thing with concentrated nitric acid. This forms that blue copper nitrate I suspect we saw earlier, along with some colorless zinc nitrate. If I burn these crystals with a torch, it produces a vibrant green flame, something many copper compounds are known for. The zinc nitrate may burn off without any noticeable color, but when the copper nitrate is heated, it decomposes into nitrogen dioxide, oxygen, and copper oxide. The heat of the torch further reduces the copper oxide into metallic copper atoms, which become thermally excited, making their electrons jump to higher energy levels. When these electrons drop back down to their ground level, they release green light. This particular color corresponds to the energy difference between the excited and ground states of the electrons. And since these are discrete energy levels that are unique to copper atoms, if I burn the crystals I obtained from the fake gold reaction and I get the same color, I'll know for sure I'm working with a copper alloy here. So, in an effort to create a sample that's large enough to burn, I stuffed nearly all the fake gold I had left in a test tube, and then added some concentrated nitric acid. After the reaction was over, I quickly boiled everything off to retrieve the remaining solids. Luckily, I was able to produce enough for a flame test, and sure enough, there it is, that signature green glow from the copper ions. So then, is this so-called 24-karat edible gold leaf actually edible? Well, since I've confirmed the presence of copper, I can safely assume that this is a brass alloy. In particular, based on its color, I can assume it's yellow brass, a form of brass with a composition of around 70 to 60% copper and 30 to 40% zinc. There are other metals that can mimic the same gold color, but none other than brass can simultaneously be stamped into thin sheets like this and completely dissolve in nitric acid. The FDA recommends a maximum intake of 10 milligrams of copper per day for adults. If you exceed this limit, it could lead to toxicity over time. So to see if I just poisoned myself, I used a scale to measure the average weight of each leaf, which is 7 milligrams. And assuming they're around 65% copper, this puts each leaf at around 0.45 times the daily recommended intake of copper. So it's not really a problem, unless you eat multiple leaves every day for a long period of time, or you eat an absurd amount in one sitting. For most people buying this stuff, I wouldn't really expect anybody to consume it on a daily basis, but after looking at the reviews, it seems like some of their main customers are small business owners who sell this stuff in their food. So it is possible that someone out there is unknowingly consuming large amounts of copper on a near day-to-day basis, thinking they're golden. Real gold leaf is completely fine to eat every day, because like we saw earlier, it's highly unreactive, so it won't be doing any funny business in your body after consuming it. But gold isn't just valued for its unreactive nature, it's also the most malleable element to exist. A single gram of gold can be hammered into a thin sheet that covers over a square meter without cracking, making it perfect for gilding artwork and apparently decorating food. This malleability, combined with its resistance to corrosion, is what made gold so highly prized throughout history. Ancient civilizations used it not only because it looks cool, but it could last for centuries without tarnishing or breaking down, and it could be easily shaped into jewelry or stamped into coins. I bought the gold leaf so I can dissolve it in mercury. Not really for any reason, it just looks pretty cool. But when I first tried it, nothing really happened, and that's when I became suspicious of the gold's legitimacy. Gold dissolves in mercury through amalgamation, and brass does too, except its oxide layer usually prevents that from happening. So when nothing happened, it raised some red flags. Both the real and fake gold leaf I have were purchased from Amazon, and I could compare the differences between them all day, but honestly, it's better to figure out whether your gold leaf is fake or not before you actually purchase it and risk getting scammed. And just to be clear, I would never get scammed. When shopping for gold leaf on Amazon, even the fake gold listings will likely have great reviews, since most people just use it for decoration, and brass leaf works just fine for that. That said, you still might spot some hints that the leaf is fake by checking the reviews. Look for comments mentioning that the leaf is thicker than usual or fails an acid test. Another big giveaway is if the seller claims it's 24 karat gold, yet it's strong and more resistant to breaking than other brands. Real gold leaf is very fragile, so complaints about it tearing easily or being damaged during shipping are actually good signs that it's authentic gold leaf.